All right, guys, what's up? So in 2025, here's why I think you should build your own home instead of buying a home on the market if you're pre-approved. If you're a subcontractor and you've always wondered how do young kids like me go out and build houses, I've built over 250 homes over the past 6 years now. And I think that it's so much easier than many people think. In this video, I'm gonna break down the personal home strategy. I'll break down cash on cash, and I want you to pay attention, write notes, because this strategy is a lot easier than most people think. And it's so powerful because you can make over $250,000 every single time you sell a house, tax-free. If you're single, up to 500 grand in profit, tax-free of capital gains if you decide to live there for 2 years out of the last 5. So super excited to share with you. We're gonna get right into it. Let's go. All right, guys, so let's get into it. This video is gonna be all about why you should build instead of buy. So first, I'll start off with this quick video that I made at the lot that I'm currently under contract to purchase for. Right now, I'm going through all of the paperwork process to get the loan in place, the building permits approved. I'll close on the loan and start the construction process. So if you're pre-approved to buy a home, please don't go buy a home off the market. Hire a builder if you're afraid of actually getting your GC license and building it yourself. Get it built for you and be positive equity on the day you move in, and then take all of that profit tax-free if you decide to live there for 2 years.
All right, guys, what's up? So we decided we're going to be building a personal house here. Super exciting. Now, Papa, will this story Dominic?
I sped it up for you guys so that it's a little bit faster.
Okay, what about you? Why?
I kind of like our old.
Well, you're gonna get a new house and you can do something, build something new. Yeah, and there's another school over there. So pretty exciting. I think we should be building in 2 months. I'm getting the construction loan right now, and surveys, doing architecture right now, civil engineering next week. Structural engineering next week. Civil engineering has already been submitted. So exciting stuff. What kind of style are you going for? French contemporary.
Do what the wife wants. French contemporary. So here's a quick breakdown for you guys. So when you're looking to build a house, the very first thing you want to know is how much can I pay for the lot? What I've seen nationwide with all the students and different people that I work with, it's anywhere from 15 to 25% of the final build value, or the ARV, after repair value. It's a very common term in real estate. So what does that mean? Get the final price of the home that you want to build and multiply that by 15 to 25%. If you're in Texas, you want to be on the lower end. If you're in San Diego, you want to be on the higher end. In my area, this specific deal that I have under contract is roughly 20% of that final build value. I think it's actually going to be 15%. I got a pretty good deal on it, but in return, I do have to do a lot of civil engineering work, invest a lot more cash up front, put a road, put sewer, put water. So in a sense, I'm getting a good deal, but I have to put in a lot more work. Okay, once you have the lot price, you need the build cost. Rough price to build per square foot of your house nationwide, I've seen, is 150 to 200. In Texas, I've seen it as low as 105, right? In Portland, Oregon, it could be 175. We built some duplexes for 180 a square foot. If it's anything more than that, most likely the builder's marking up a profit margin on the construction cost and then charging a builder fee on top of that. So that's something to look out for. You might want to look for a new builder if you're anything higher than that. Typically, what I could recommend for someone that wants to build their first home, go and get a construction to permanent loan. Every bank has a different name for it. Typically, you want to go to a local community bank. You want to put down roughly 5%, and there's going to be an additional 2% for closing costs. So we'll break that down a little bit later. So 5% down, 95% loan to value. Technically, it's actually going to be loan to cost. So you're going to get a 95% loan against what it costs you to build. So for example, 200K lot, 600K build. We're going to multiply it by 7%. We're going to add in those 2% lender fees, closing costs, any kind of title fees, things like that. So that's how the lender makes his commission or her commission. Total down payment for this deal is 56 grand. So here is why I believe in 2025, you must build your own house instead of buying a house off the market if you're pre-approved. Exactly, this is in these 2 sentences right here. So if this house is going to be worth 1 million, I think it's going to be worth more. If you sell it, you live there so you build it, you sell it, you've lived there for 2 years. There's an IRS tax code where if you sell your personal home that you've lived in 2 years out of 5 and you're single, you can make up to 250 grand tax-free, no capital gains on your property, and 500 grand if you're married filing jointly. So in this situation, on this deal, I'm gonna make roughly 200 grand after living there for 2 years. This is a conservative number. I think the house is gonna be worth more than $1 million. It's gonna be 3,000 square feet. But let's just run this conservative example. So the profit is 200 grand, okay? The down payment in this deal is $56,000. We're gonna divide the profit by the down payment. So this is very similar to ROI, except we're doing actual cash into the deal. So money that I put in versus money that I got out. We're at a 357% cash on cash return on my money that I put into this deal. It's absolutely incredible. Okay, if you lived there for 2 years and you want to divide that return by 2 years, it's still 150 plus per year. And then if you want to look at it as an actual money in the bank, you're making an extra 100 grand per year you doing this strategy, building your own personal home, hiring a builder. If you're brave enough, go and get your GC license yourself. In some states, it's really easy to get. Some, it's more difficult. But you can get your GC license and you can even save yourself the builder fee, right? Since I have my GC license, I'm not going to be paying a builder fee, but a typical builder fee is 10% of cost. So in this case, we would pay a builder 60 grand to build this home for us, manage it start to finish. So you would make, instead of 200, you would make $140,000 profit. Still worth it in my opinion. Everybody that buys a home on the market, most of the time, they're negative equity day they move in because they're paying realtor fees. They're paying the builder profit, the builder's cost of capital. So he's borrowing money to build this house, to put it for sale. So that's expensive as well. Your financing is so much better because you have 95% loan to cost. It's usually a local community bank. And it's a much better deal. So what's the first step? This is the first step, running the rough numbers, knowing what you can pay for the lot, knowing rough construction cost in your area. You can find this out by calling either listing agents for builders or talking to builders in your area. Just know that if a builder's quoting you higher than these numbers, most likely he's adding on a profit margin in this case. So the very first thing that I'm doing is I'm gonna start talking simultaneously to my lender, my architect. I'm gonna be talking to my structural engineer, and I'm gonna be asking him to put me on schedule for the future. Those are the first few points of contact. So there's what's called a conforming loan limit. So I want to be at that conforming loan limit, even though I'm approved to build a bigger, better house than this 800K. I don't want to be over the conforming loan limit because then the down payment requirements change from 5% up to 20%. The interest rate increases. And I think the best bang for your buck is to build a home within the conforming loan limit. So roughly my loan's going to be around 800K, around $50,000 down payment. Okay, so let's get into it. We're going to start off with architect. So this is how the conversation started. Scott, I want to draw a new house. I want to fit it on this plan. Yeah, we could do that. Boom. What you don't see here is he sent me an email for a $2,000 deposit. So I had to put that deposit down. Typically you could do that with a credit card if you don't have enough cash available. But the good news is when you close on the loan, the bank will reimburse you those costs. So it's not a big deal. We jumped on a Zoom call. We talked about what we want specifically, and you'll see in detail. And then I have a little bit of chief architect experience. So I just drew the house in 3D just to see what kind of issues we would run into. And so these are the typical kind of conversations you're going to look at. I strongly recommend that if you are looking to build your first house and you don't have enough experience, buy a plan that's already been built because you don't want any surprises. I built a custom plan one time and it cost me 50 grand more in lumber packages because I did these massive 2-story walls and windows. And so you really don't want those surprises during construction and go over budget. So if you find a builder, ask him what plans he's built, have him send them to you, and it would be wise to have less on loans in your build and go with a building plan that he's already done and he has experience in. All right, so this is the first of your email series that you should be talking to with your lender. So I sent my tax returns to him. He said, yep, you're more than approved. However, if you want to stay within the conforming loan limit of $806,500, the down payment will be 5% down. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna make it work. So we decreased the square footage on our house to make sure that we're gonna be within that budget. We're gonna build a little bit nicer house. So I'm aiming for the 200, 220 per square foot build, and I'm gonna build roughly a 3,000 square foot house. All right, so he just kind of gave me some history. It was 766 in 2024. They increased it to 806. So I suggest staying in it. You know, jumbo loan is going to be 9% interest only payment, and then it's going to stay at 9% for your regular mortgage. It won't be interest only at that point. But yeah, so you personally, if you're going to do this strategy, I would recommend you stay at the conforming loan limit. It's harder in more expensive areas to be at the conforming limit because land is more expensive. But if you're in North Carolina, for example, and I've seen land go there for $50,000 instead of like $200,000 I'm paying, you know, you have plenty of budget to build a big house and really nice square footage. So I sent him my plot plan. That's basically the dimensions of the lot. I'm going to be only buying about half of this, less than half, 13,000 square feet, and the seller is going to keep this. So I'm doing the civil engineering development work, putting in a road in here, sewer, water. I'm going to get this lot right here, and he's going to keep that one. So I'm going to build my house L shape at the end of a road right here. So I'm just leading you guys through. This is live actual progress of what I'm doing. So maximum loan limit. Do you have a purchase and sale? Next step, guys, is you want to get a PSA, a purchase and sale agreement signed with the seller if you're ready to move forward. So you got your pre-approval, right? You got your purchase and sale. You're now working with the architect. You got put on schedule for the engineer. These are the few things that you need to be looking for. Hope you're enjoying this content so far. Super excited to continue breaking it down for you in detail so that at least you could open your mind to the potential possibility of building, not buying. I'd like to let you know about my online education platform real quick. I break down all of the process A to Z through the 7 steps in detail, and I also provide all of the resources that you'll need as well. So whether that's the budget breakdown, whether that's going to be figuring out your price per square foot and bidding out your jobs to subcontractors and building that valuable list, whether that's the schedules, how long should foundation take, how long should framing take, how long should plumbing, HVAC, and all those different trades take, and what does a fully stacked schedule look like visually on a Gantt schedule. All the way to the final sale process and making sure that your property is tax-free. I'd love to have you join. And then if you'd like to, I also offer a mentorship program where I'm jumping on live Zoom calls with my students and mentoring them throughout the entire process, A to Z, from finding the land to selling the house. I'm there to hold your hand throughout the entire process, live weekly, where we answer all of your questions. So back to the video. If you wanted to work with us, text the word YouTube to 360-216-0323, and my team will get you all set up and sorted. 360-216-0323. Super excited to work with you. Let's get started. You got that contract signed, you send it to your lender. Now the time starts clicking, right? So you have the 30, 60, 90 days that you've locked up this contract. The goal is get your building permits approved, get your loan approved, get all your drawings completed and submitted to the city. Now you want to close on the land. Once building permits are approved, you're clear to close with the lender. That's really important. And in the meantime, while you're getting the loan, he's going to need all your construction documents, whatever you have, even if they're not fully finished. They need those to project the sales price or value of your home when it's finished. That way they can make sure that you're 95% loan to cost, because that's the rules that they have to follow. So now we're working more with the architect. These are messages that I was emailing back and forth. So you guys saw a little bit of the iMessage. So now he's saying, hey, we have a beam over here. I wonder if I could zoom in and show you guys a little bit. So what's important here is to build a plan that you've built before. But as you guys can see, these little black dots on a building plan like this are posts. I don't want a post in the middle of my great room. I know it's not clear, the image, but I just want to show you guys the importance of understanding plans, at least to the bare minimum. And so I really don't want to post there. So I asked him, as you guys can see, this wall doesn't line up, this dining room wall with this wall. So I asked him, hey, why don't we just line up this wall with this one, and then we can put a beam across and connect those two and remove that post. Lo and behold, he replied, absolutely go ahead. That's a smart idea. So he's sending me the new ones. I'm starting to send him more changes that I want. Again, if this is your very first build, just do a plan that someone's built before, and that's it. And you don't have to worry about all these changes. At least build your first house. And if this works out for you and you do end up making that 200, 300K profit on your house, you're gonna be hooked for life. And you're gonna be doing this every 2 years, and you'll have more than enough time to build your dream house or make it custom. I remember when we first built a house for one of my friends, he's like, wow, I wanna do this again because I learned so much during the actual construction process. So as you guys can see, he sent me version 2. Now I'm looking at dimensions. Okay, do I want a 1 foot space between my couch when I'm walking into the great room? No, I don't. Unfortunately, man, the house is getting so big, but we need to add 3 feet here. We need to add 1 foot there. I'm sending him inspiration photos that I got off of Google. I'd like to do this kind of style add-on for the great room. I'd like to do this kind for the office windows. So I'm sending him all these kind of different things. He's sending me different roof plans. I'm looking for like a gable right here, a little dormer window here, and then as you guys can imagine, that private road is going to be right here coming from the other guy's lot. And so I'm designing a plan to fit this. So what should you pay your architect? Typically what I'm seeing is $1 per square foot, and then the engineering on this kind of house for 3,000 square feet is going to be roughly $2,000 to $3,000. So all in around $5 grand for the building plans and engineering. So that's kind of what that looks like. I'm going to show you guys even more in detail all the different things. So pretty cool. Now that you're getting closer to close, right? You've sent your building plans to your loan officer. You're gonna have to start filling out spec sheets and stuff like that. So I provide these to everybody in my free community channel. But a spec sheet typically, right? The house doesn't exist yet. So how does an appraiser know what your house is going to be like other than based off of your plans? Well, really simple. It's going to be a spec sheet. So the spec sheet is going to determine, all right, are you putting quartz? Are you putting hardwood? Are you putting LVP? What kind of windows are you doing? Are they, what kind of heating system? Is it a gas? Is it electric? Is it a fireplace? What kind of roof? Are you doing a 30-year? Are you doing a 50-year, right? All of those different things make the house worth a little bit more or less, and he can compare it to other houses in the area. So, and then you're gonna need a contractor agreement. So between you and the general contractor, this is a standard one that I've been using for the past probably 6 years. And so it's between me and the general contractor. In this case, it's me and myself. But when I've built for different customers, it's me and the customer. So your bank will ask for an agreement between you and the GC. And then you have your checklist. So this is just really helps you understand what exactly is going to be required. So like we talked, you need the PSA, right? Your income. So if you're a business owner, 2 years tax returns. If you are a if you're employed and have W-2s, let's just say, you need W-2. A lot of times 3 months is fine, not 2 years. That's a long time. Your construction plans, like we talked about. If you're self-employed, there's a little bit more. If you have different life situations, other items are required. Sometimes they'll ask for different assets if you want to get your approval higher. And then if you wanted to do a refi or departing home loan residence. So if you have a home right now and you're looking to build a house, you can actually pull the equity and they can put a lien on your house and get you a new construction loan. That's one option. You're gonna have to talk with your lender. I have a bunch of lenders that I work with, but ultimately, yes, that's possible to have a house right now. You don't have to sell it. You can live in it, finish your new construction, and then build your new house. These are all the different building plans that I offer to my community channel, so you can check that out. But I guess let's go through my building plan, and I just want to show you guys some cool different little things. So version 1, as you guys saw, let's see here. Let's pull out like this square real fast. We'll make it red. So I just want to show you guys. See this wall right here? I'm gonna draw this down. See how it doesn't line up? So these are things that a good architect will notice, or a good builder, right? That's extra money because you can't run a beam into air, but you can run a beam across both walls. So you definitely want to line up those walls if at all possible, right? These two walls from here, you want them to line up. A lot of times you want the second story to line up, a 1-story is a little bit more expensive to build because you have more foundation. On a 2-story, you're stacking, so you have less foundation and more wood being stacked on top of each other, so it's a little bit cheaper. So as you guys can see, that's version 1. I'll show you guys the upstairs. I changed it a lot, but as you guys can see, that's version 1. This goes into the garage, and so I want the garages to be 12 foot so I can park my boat or whatever else. So I'm gonna have to remove this closet and kind of probably do a walk-in closet that's more somewhat something kind of like maybe like this. And let's just say I'll do another box for you guys to make it like super clear, but I would do a walk-in closet more like this, something like that is what my walk-in closet would be. I can't select that anymore for some reason, but there won't be a wall there. But as you guys can see, I can be smart with my walk-in closet and rearrange the bathroom a little bit. And now I can have a high ceiling right here where the garage opens. And that way, you know, I can have that extra space and park something taller if I wanted to. So all these different little things are not required, but it's a really cool added benefit that you can do when building your own custom house. So I don't think I need this open to below, so I'm putting this little bathroom here, and I'm making the laundry bigger. My wife wanted a bigger laundry. So all of these cool little options are really cool, and you can do them when you're building your own custom house. All right, here we are at version 4. So this, we haven't adjusted that walk-in closet, but as you can see, this garage door is lower. Number 1, I think it looks weird. Number 2, you know, that walk-in closet has plenty of room, and it's cheaper to stack it on top of each other instead of floating and put beams over the garage. And so, as you guys can see, we changed it a little bit. The laundry is now bigger. So tell me that's not cool. You can design your house how you want it, how you like it. That laundry was tiny before. That open to below, cool when you walk in and you have a tiny little open to below space, but now we have a guest bedroom with their own private bathroom and a massive laundry. I think that's a really cool upgrade in my opinion. So you could do those kind of things, and looks like I don't have that version 5 yet from him. Okay, and now we're gonna go over through all of the different checklists that you're going to have when you're working with your lender. So you have that checklist, right? I gave you the general overview. I gave you the contractor summary, the specs, and now it's gonna be time to work out your budget. So what is a budget? Well, a budget is that $150 to $200 per square foot that I mentioned, but now you're gonna go in and break it down roughly, you know, exactly what it's gonna cost you per line item that adds up to that, let's just say 600,000. So in this case, we're doing some math, 600,000 divided by 3,000 square feet, $200 per square foot. So we're going to be working up to that $200 per square foot. So right now I just put in $5,000 for plans and architecture. You can see it's automatically updating here. Permits in my area, I like to front load the budget. So even though permits will cost me a little bit less, I'm gonna put in $50,000 here. What's nice is the bank will give you a draw based on what you put in your budget. So whether your permits cost you less or not, they're still gonna give you the full 50 to your account. And then you can use whatever's left to put deposits on whatever next items that you had, which is pretty cool. A lot of times I've come in on projects under budget and the bank doesn't care, because as long as their 95% loan to cost value gets met, or at the very end when they do the final appraisal and their 95% loan to value gets met, that's all they truly care about. They just don't want you to be over leveraged. And so that's a really big benefit to building new construction. Awesome. Thank you so much for making it to the end of this video. Hopefully that you learned something today, took some notes. I'm super excited for you to take action and build your first personal home. It's a lot easier than most think. Just remember, don't go buy a home on the open market off of the MLS, but instead go buy a lot off market. You don't have competition, right? Because the lot wasn't listed on the market. You can lock up for a longer contract, like let's just say 60 to 90 days. You can get your building permits, close on the land when your building permits are approved, and start construction right away. With this strategy, I am confident you can make anywhere from extra $100,000 per year up to $500,000 of profit if in your area land is cheap and the houses are more expensive. If that's true, you have a competitive advantage that's better than all of us combined. So like and subscribe to this video. I'll post more content like this. Join my community channel. I hope to see you inside where you can download all of the resources and go crush it.